I'm so honored to introduce Reggie. Reggie has taken over 1,000 hours of teacher training, is a recent graduate of the 2-year mindfulness meditation certification program. He has been a featured teacher for the Bhakti Fest, the Sedona Yoga Festival, the Kripalu Center for Yoga and Health, the Omega Institute, and the Be Here Now Network, and the Sounds True platform. So as a recent stroke survivor, Reggie has found sound practice and deep meditation help him connect to deeper understanding of wisdom and presence in these tense times. And it is his hope to share sound practice more broadly in his home area in the DMV. So with that, I'm very honored to introduce Reggie Hubbard. Thank you.
Michelle, thank you. Ellie, thank you. Peace and blessing to all. Can you hear me? Right on. Thank you all for coming out on a Sunday night in a last minute fashion. For those of you that are unmuted, I would ask that you mute because once I play, it may have a bit of a reverb. So just make sure that you are muted so that there's no reverb. There's enough cacophony in the region. Like we don't need cacophony in our meditation session together. So from the bottom of my heart, peace and blessing be upon you in these interesting times. I want to give a bit of an introduction to me, a brief one, an introduction into my relationship with sound. But before I do that, could each of you tell me in the chat, what is your experience with sound meditation? Because in addition to a teacher, I'm a bit of an organizer. I need to know my people. I need to know exactly what I'm working with. So where are you in the world or region and your relationship to sound and what's present for you? Right, those are the three questions I have. Who are you? Where are you at? Sound, what's present for you? I'll put it in the chat. So there we go. And while people are engaging, the other thing about me as a teacher is like camera off or on, I'm just happy that you're here. Right? I don't be throwing a lot of shoulds on people. Like, yikes. I don't know. Like, you are here, give thanks. Catherine, thank you. Catherine, I saw your headphones on, so Catherine knows what's up. Absolutely. Terry, thank you. Thank you. That honesty and community is the alchemy of our times, right? I mean, I think one of the lessons of what we're going through is to force us to be vulnerable with one another, right? And so, what better time than now to be vulnerable? Anyone else? Just thank you, Ellie. Regina, thank you. Cool. Well, peace and blessing on your loss, Robin. So as we're putting this into the chat, I just want to offer a little bit of my acquaintance with sound, a little bit about my dalliance with these wonderful practices. If you had told me 10 years ago I'd be seeking opportunities to share meditation with people, I would have laughed in your face. I was about as hardcore of an activist as one could be. And I luckily found out that as I take care of myself, have a clear mind and an open heart, that's the trick. Right? Like being angry and screaming isn't the trick. Like calm focus from a loving heart is the trick. And that used to work for Move On. I was Move On's Congressional Affairs Director from 2017 to 2021. During that ordeal, which is not that dissimilar from what we're currently experiencing, I undertook 1,000 hours of yoga teacher training. And then upon graduating from the resistance, when Biden-Harris won, I quit Move On and used my severance to buy like 15 sound bowls and started playing for myself because I'd been screaming for people for a year, for 4 years. over the course of the resistance, I met Jack and Tara, and I always loved how cool they were. When I met them, we did a lot of Zoom stuff together. I was just like, I'm gonna sign up for your training because I need to calm down. I got all this fire, and I can keep the laser, but lose the heat. You know what I mean? And so the MMTCP program was just a beautiful opportunity to embed myself in mindfulness practice, like as a therapy from 4 years in the resistance. So I come by these practices honestly. And with respect to sound practice, I recently, 10 and a half months ago, I had a stroke. There is no such thing as a minor stroke. So there was a 15-20 minute period of time where it was highly likely that I was about to leave here. And the entire time I was in ICU and all these other things, like while the doctors were saying all this news to me, all I would do is this. Mr. Hubbard, you've had a stroke. Okay. We don't know if you'll walk again, sir. We're sorry that you're paralyzed. Okay. And this sound calmed my mind, opened my heart, and allowed me to be with what is, as opposed to all the fears, all the will this evers. And so much so, when I graduated from inpatient rehab out into the real world, discharged into the real world, my neurologist, I was like, so, okay, doc, so what's my homework? They're like, Reggie, you have healed so quickly. A, we want to talk to you about your meditation practice and sound bowls. And B, you're a mindfulness teacher. You know what to do. And so I laughed at them. I was like, that's the easiest prescription you ever gave someone on discharge. but what they meant by that and what I took by that is that without getting too caught up in the past or the future, be present. And in that presence, when I had a little wiggle in my foot, I knew that I was healing because I was present to my body so deeply because of sound and meditation that the paralysis, once it started to like be subtle, I could focus on that, right? So, and use that as a tool to build hope and grace and those sorts of things. So sound helped me with that. And lastly, I live in this region. I'm from this region. And before I had the stroke, I was an empath. How we as a region are handling what's happening 2 miles away from me right now, I feel that viscerally. Like I feel it. And so, needless to say, I've been playing a lot of gongs for myself, but as a servant of peace, the name of my teaching practice is Active Peace. It is my charge to bring peace to the masses in times of distress. It is my charge to offer wisdom through my accumulated lived experience to alleviate the sufferings of beings that cross my path. And it is my hope that over the course of our time together, that you find a connection with something deeper than the malevolence happening in our human realm. Astrologically speaking, if you look up in our sky, Mars and Jupiter and Venus and Saturn are in a line. So there's chaos in the human realm, but in the realm of the universe, there is an order. And it is my hope that through these sounds and our practice together, we get more in touch with that order, that the burdens that you're carrying lessen, soften, and lighten, and that some of you maybe even catch a nap. How does that sound? Cool. Well, I do mindfulness a little different, y'all. So just to let y'all know, okay? So like, I'll get you there, right? So it may not be what you're used to, but think of this as a jazz concert, all right? We'll get there. So I want you to find a posture that's supported by the body and your energy in this moment. Soften the eyes or close them if that's comfortable for you. And begin to move the shoulders and the neck. So find fluid movement in the body. We sit looking at these phones and on our computers, and we literally suffocate ourselves. So bringing fluid movement in the body so that when these sound waves transmit, the body can meet them with fluidity as opposed to rigidity. So 10 more seconds of organic movement, just loosening and limbering areas that tend to be tense, right? Let me take this scarf off because it's hot here. Now bring palms together with a clap, friction in the palms, and focus your mind on the palms touching, the sound of the palms, and the heat being generated by the friction. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Place hands on the heart. It is okay to touch your heart. We are broken-hearted, so let us offer tender touch to our broken hearts. Inhale through the nose. Exhale with a sigh. Palms together, friction in the palms. Again, mindfulness practice, focusing on the hands moving, the sound and the heat. Take heated hands and place them on the throat and the neck. Literally clearing our throat. Five more seconds, just offering peaceful practice to some of the most sensitive mechanics in the body. Inhale through the nose, exhale out the mouth. Two more, palms together, friction, focus mind on palm touching. The world is still worlding, but point your focus to the therapeutic experience of the palms touching. Then getting in touch with your own intuition. Place heated hands anywhere on the body, and if you're good on the body, place hands near your computer and offer this to somebody else. Think of this as like super meta. Right, so from your therapeutic experience and abundance, offering that to someone else. Last time, palms together with a clap, friction. Y'all, we can't avoid friction. Friction is a part of the human experience. Sometimes you gotta smack the devil. Okay? For those of you with glasses, please remove the glasses. And then place heated hands on your weary eyes. The amount I have cried in the past year. The pain that I feel from others that causes me to tear up. Maybe you've got your own tears you need to shed, but offer love to the eyes. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Hands slide down the face. Place one hand on the heart, one hand on the abdomen. Shifting more towards mindfulness practice here. So that warm up is to clear tension in the body so that we can be a little bit more precise with our awareness. Clearing latent tension so that the healing mechanism of the body can be made manifest. Feel the rise and fall of the chest and belly on the inhale and exhale. And choose an anchor that suits you here. So for those of you with a mindfulness practice, maybe it's the feet on the ground, maybe it's the tail in the seat. Maybe you repeat, I am breathing in on the inhale, I am breathing out on the exhale. And for those of you listening to the breath, that is the most sacred sound of your incarnate experience, is your breath. So is there a temperature? Is there a texture? remembering that this experience that we often take for granted connects us to the cosmos. Switch the palms, keep the presence. Feeling the ground as something that is supporting you, not something that we walk upon. And where might that allow the body to soften even more? Release hands from the body and allow yourself to take a posture where you will hang out for a while. We'll transition to sound practice here. This sound bowl I'm about to play, just to wet the palate, so to speak, is about 200 years old. So I want you to imagine as I play it and sing it, just to get things going, a 200-year-old friend whispering wisdom beyond words, beyond space and time. So this thing is older than the United States, like many parts of these United States. So allowing the whisper, the wisdom that wafts over these waves to land with you. My nickname for this bowl is Butter, because it is so smooth. Notice the overtones and undertones. Allow your imagination to go wild. Maybe you have a conversation with the bowl. For those of you with an ancestor practice, maybe you send wishes to the ancestors. 4 more. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out nose or mouth. In through the nose. Exhale out nose or mouth. Pausing here, welcoming the sound of silence for the gift that it is. Tuning into the sounds in your environment. Noticing how sound and stillness has cleared the space. Now, shifting your position as required, I've got quite an ensemble here to share. And by means of introduction, this gong is named Peace. This gong is named Home. This triad sounds lovely together. We have a deeper triad here. those who need a little bass in their life. So those are all the tones. I'm not going to talk for about 25 minutes. Use this experience as a mindfulness of the breath, or maybe a body scan, or maybe just a presencing. Every time you hear a sound, you listen and let it pass, right? Tuning into the present moment, nothing else. Okay? Talk to you in 25. Now the best part of sound practice, which is silence. So fashion yourself a silent sit in accordance with your practice. But notice how the body feels from heart center through crown of head down through soles of feet. Acquaint yourself with the anchor that will give you the most nourishing experience. We'll have a silent sit for about 4 minutes. I'll ring the tone, then we will reemerge. Silence begins now. Now choose in this moment what would be the most nourishing course of action for the remainder of our time together. It could be to stay in the floor. It could be to offer gentle movement to neck and shoulders just as we began. But rather than me tell you what to do, listen. What is the body telling you? What is your energy telling you? Because the peace that we seek is not going to come anywhere from Washington, D.C. It comes from the experience that we just had. So listen to your innate wisdom and nourish yourself accordingly. Then for those of you that care to have a more externally oriented experience, bring palms together with a clap like we did in the beginning, friction in the palms. Notice if this feels different. Does this sound different? My hands feel like a baby's bottom. Wow, TMI, but the benefit of playing. And then place heated hands on the heart, the heart, the heart. The single most powerful force in the universe is unconditional love unleashed. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out nose or mouth. Nourishment to your beautiful heart. Friction in the palms. Create friction. Again, we can't avoid friction, so let's play with it. Focus mind on friction and sound. And then listen to the body. Where does your chi need to go? Where does your magic need to go? Do what you need to do for you. Lastly, loved ones, palms together. Friction. Remove glasses if you have them. Then place loving hands on the head, the face, the jaw. Then release hands from the face. Take 10 seconds to feel how you feel. All you did was listen and breathe and be in community. Notice how lightening our load in community has an exponential impact on your neurology. Bring palms together at heart center, and I bow before you with gratitude, hopeful that this has been medicinal, nourishing, and maybe a little bit of fun. Michelle, open to questions or comments. Thank you all for allowing me to be of service.
Thank you so much, Reggie. It was wonderful. Yeah, so let's go ahead and go to gallery view. And yeah, if there's any questions or anything anyone wants to share.
And if I took all your words, that was kind of my goal. Are we feeling a little bit lighter? A little bit more spacious? That's the beauty of this experience. Bettina, please, yes.
Hi, Reggie. Hi, everyone. Sorry I couldn't put anything in the chat. My chat's not working. I don't know why, but I do feel lighter. I feel, that was beautiful, and I enjoyed all of it. I loved taking, like, just letting the sound vibrations kind of enter into different parts of the body, and developing the friction with the hands and putting the hands where they felt needed. It did feel very healing. I didn't have a headache, but my head feels better. And it felt very, very loving. So thank you so much.
My honor. I mean, Bettina, the one thing I would say is that think of the tension that all of us who care and are in this geopolitical location feel. So you may not have a headache, but you feel it. You know what I mean? And so what these waves do, the beautiful thing about sound is that sound doesn't care what you think. Sound is like, doo-doo-doo. Oh, you stressed in your head? Oh, I'm going to go there. Oh, you are tight in the heart? I'm going to go there. Sound is quantum and does what it does. Hugh. Thank you, Bettina.
Reggie, I'm so grateful for you for coming and sharing this with us, and really, really feel blessed. For myself, I feel very much in the thick of everything. I kind of keep informed and I stay engaged, and I try and help others as best I can. And I feel that, I mean, I can't imagine doing it without the teachings and without the practices, and what you've offered us this evening is just such a beautiful kind of support, and kind of getting past the kind of the prefrontal cortex, and kind of getting
Exactly.
down into the kind of where it's really happening. And I hear you so much about it's having lived through that first term, and you were really right in the middle of the action. I really sensed how much we carried from waking up every morning and think, oh, a bright new day. Oh shit, you know, what might he do today? And I thought of it a lot as kind of unmourned grief, that we were kind of having to take in all this stuff and we didn't have time to process it. We're on to the next outrage and the next thing. And so these practices and what you're offering is so beautiful and beautifully helpful. And I guess the last thing I'd say is I just hope that you would feel welcomed coming back to our community and being part of our community, in whatever way, feels appropriate and all of
Yeah,
that.
y'all aren't done with me yet, brother.
Anyway, just wanted to name that.
Yeah, no,
It was,
you're not done with
thank
me yet. Like, I plan on this is me and my girlfriend were in Richmond, Virginia, right before the inauguration, and right before the power changed, I had this look on my face, and she's like, "Why are you scowling?" I was like, "Well, I know that my spiritual vacation is over in an hour and a half. Like
yeah,
in an hour and a half, I'm fully pressed into yogic and dharmic service
right.
to alleviate suffering that I know is on the way. So like this last hour and a half is my free, quote unquote, free time. So I am in service. You can't have a teaching practice named active peace and be passive in chaos, man.
Right. Thank you,
Love and
Richard.
gratitude. Anybody else for the good of the order? Well, love and blessing to you all. Again, like I said, I hope this has been medicinal, nourishing, and for those of you that are newer to the sound experience, just notice how sound, not noise, sound, has lowered your blood pressure, has jumped over your cortices that think and gone directly into your nervous system. Again, like these sounds, many of these that you've heard, helped me come back from neurological destruction and a stroke. Right? So like I'm not just playing this willy-nilly. Like I know what this can do. And so it is my hope that your heart is lighter. You have a bit of a, if not a smile, a bit of a smirk. And yeah, hope to be in contact very soon to be of service in other ways.
Thank you, Richard.
Michelle and Ellie, back to you.
Thank you. And yes, and Ellie put some information about Donna for Reggie for coming here. And we really want to appreciate that his teachings and his time. So, and Donna remains a core part of our tradition. So please feel free and we'll also be sending out a recording of this with his information as well. So you can, if you don't get it in the chat right now, you can get it in the email that we send out later, probably in a day or two. So, All right, again, thank you, everyone. Ellie? Say-
Thank you so much. I do feel a lightness. I feel like there's a lot of heaviness that's being carried communally and in our hearts and minds, and I'm just so grateful that you were able to share this with this community. Thank you so much.
It's my honor, and we can't end sound practice without sound. So I encourage you to take a posture that is supported by your energy. Feel the good vibe that we've cultivated together, the bhav, as we say in yogic parlance. I'm going to play this bowl 3 times. For me, it'll be for Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. It could be past, present, and future for you. You choose what the assignation is for. For me, it'll be for the teacher, the teachings, and us. Yeah? So 1 clearing breath, 3 tolls, then fade to black. Proud chest, open heart, because fierce love conquers chaos and cruelty. In through the nose as deep as you care to. Exhale out the mouth.
And thank you, everyone. And we hope to have Reggie back with us very soon. So thanks again for joining us. Bye.
Yeah.